Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. It's another Thursday. Miss you guys for a little couple of days, a couple times, but we are back on. To God be the glory for the things He's about to do and when He's about to do it. So we thank God for each and everyone joining on tonight. We stream living on from True Life Radio. So tune in and call a friend. Get somebody to tune in with you. So welcome to the class on tonight, marriage class on uneven yoke. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The time we are going through with our unsaved spouses. We're starting why, but now today we're gonna come. The topic is closing the marital loops. Closing the marital loops tonight. The new topic I started because I believe there's a lot of things going on in our marriage that we need to close. But the loops are open. And we're going to address a few things tonight. So we thank God for His grace and His mercy. Before I get into anything, I give honor to God, who's the head of my life, the creator of my being here. We thank God for His grace and His mercy. Allow us to be here tonight and allow me to be here to share the thoughts that is on His mind concerning marriage. So I thank God for grace and His mercy to allow me to be here. And I say, I give God glory and honor for my pastors. They allow me to do what I do, and I thank God for their lives. So, thank God for this radio station, Pastor Paul and his family, to allow us to come together every fourth Thursday. We can share what is on the mind of God concerning marriages. So, I will just ask God to let He come in and I be still tonight, and He can pour into me so I could pour back into you, to whoever listening on the sound of my voice on tonight. So, I'm going to be still and let God instill in me what to say and how to say it. And my name is Dr. Sonia Archer. I'm a certified marriage counselor, and I don't know everything and I don't have it all together, but I believe God called me and chosen for this assignment a couple of years ago when He chose me to do this assignment. And I said, let me fulfill God's will for my life and for the people of God's life. And if I could help someone, I'm here tonight. I don't have the answer for everything, but I believe what I'm going to say tonight will help someone to maintain and to help their marriage to go according to the plan and the will of God's life. So tonight we're talking about closed marital loops. So we thank God for each and every one who come joining on tonight, and we thank God for His grace for your life that He allow you to be here in the land of the living. The Lord allowed me to listen to a few things, because I do a counseling session sometimes, and they pour their heart and the hurt of their marriage and the family. So I'm going to address a few things tonight about offense. So first, I thought about it. I said, God, let me get some information here so I could pour it out to the people of God. So I invest myself. I went back to school and I invest in books and different things I study. So I just come not because of a Shakespeare story, but I'm coming to there's some with some knowledge that I've learned and can pass on to whoever desire to keep the marriage going forth. Because marriage is the first in things that God did after He created man. He made marriages. He created marriage and a family. So I believe that's His plan for our lives, and He want marriage to continue until He comes back here for us. So we want to have a steady and a loving marriage. And, sometimes, we do something in our life is not pleasing to God. But God said, if you come to me and ask me, I will forgive and move on. So we come tonight to just enhance the marriage that we have here. And sometimes, we as people of God, we're not always right in everything we do, especially if we have unsaved spouses. So we have to understand that the nature of things and how we can handle our marriages an even yoke. It doesn't mean like, the person is saved sometimes and it's still uneven because they don't believe what you believe in and different aspect of uneven yoke. It's not about who's a Christian and who's not a Christian or the religion or the where they came from. It can some different aspect of uneven yoke. And you still have to get along because if God put you together, we need to stay together. If God put us together. So as I said before, God wants the conflict of our marriage. He lead me to communicate. He wants us to communicate our problems. And you want to know what's the closing the loops? Closing the loops of a marriage is that sometimes things happen as we go along, and we haven't addressed the problem. We have not addressed it. We cover it up and we go along and nothing happened. But tonight we're going to try to close some loops that are already open. We can close it so we can move on and move forward with our marriages. Usually it leaves bad feelings if there's a problem in your communication. It could cause anger, resentment, revenge, all these things and open loops because we have not addressed the problem. And sometimes these things happen and each other don't even know what's going on because we have not discussed and we have not had a conversation with the situation. So tonight we're going to get some clarity on what we're gonna do and what we should do. Or the more likely we don't know what we offend the person with. Sometimes it can be intentionally and unintentionally. We really don't know. But tonight we're going to get some clarity of that and see how we can mend the offense and the conflict and close the loops in our marriage. Because there's open loops, and that's why sometimes so many things are happening. The argument, the fights, and the both become unhappy with each other and in the marriage. So tonight we want to address how we can resolve, and close the loops. Okay? So, my time is not a lot, but I'm going to do it as best I can. If I'm not to continue it, I will do so. You might ask, what is the closed loops? That's a question somebody will say. What's she talking about? Well, what I'm talking about, a conflict that this went on in the marriage. So it's time to resolve the situation, whatever transpired. It could be, uh, you know, it hurtful, maybe a pain. It hurts your heart, it hurts your feelings. Sometimes it could be just, simple criticizing and not know to offend the person that you're with. And we never address the problem. So we carry this anger and this resentment for a period of time. I think it should be open up because sometimes intentionally, that not doing intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, but it hurts the other person. So it can be a simple thing like, criticizing maybe what you wear and how you do things, but you get offended. And if you don't address the problem, nobody will know what's really bothering you. So it's the both parties I'm talking about, not one person, because both of us are together. So sometimes it's a harmful hurt, whatever the problem is, but and provokes the emotion and the reaction. Simple things. It hurt whatever happened. No one of the party addressed the issue. Nobody wants to address the issue. And they probably don't even know the issue is going on because there's no communication going on with that. Call that open loops and conflict in the relationship. And sometimes it goes on for months, sometimes weeks. You know, it really go on. You wonder why you're so angry and why, they're not getting along. But because they're offense and nobody wants to address what transpired. I said before, sometimes you don't even know the person offended. So it's good to communicate with each other. You don't go for days, because the Bible says, don't go down, don't go to bed on your wrath. You have to talk about things. There's something, if it hurts your feelings, if it bothers you, let's talk about it so we can resolve the issue. Don't just bury it and say, okay, it's okay, you hurt my feelings, but I'm not going to talk about it. No, 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 no. We have to talk about it. We should talk about it. Amen. Sometimes the both may not be even aware of what's going on. Don't you know what they did? Who did what? So, being that says, communicate is very important. You must talk about things. Some spouse only make things worse because they assume that everything is okay. And what another thing we do as people of God, we bury other things. We don't settle things, we bury it alive. And so that fester and that fester, so we have to remember that what if you don't discuss things, I would not know what's bothering you. You would not know what bothered me. So it's time to close the marital loops. Okay? Sometimes it could be verbally, action, your vent, your anger, just because your body language, not speaking. That's the loop is open. It's not been discussed. Bury the loop alive, the anger, all the frustration. How could you live in a place with someone like this? Because as I was teaching the other day, you have to set the tone of your home. That's your sanctuary. When you leave work or wherever you leave to come home, you want to have a peace in your house. So you have to make your home a place of your comfort, a place of relaxation, a place you can let your emotions out. You shouldn't be coming home and I don't want to get home. I don't want to be home. That's not the way how it goes. We need to have some common ground with each other because that's your home and you want to be a safe place. You can really let out what you need to let out and feel relaxed when you come home from wherever you're coming from. So don't bury the anger, hoping to keep peace. That's not going to keep peace. If you don't say anything and be silent, okay, I'm not going to talk about it. That's the wrong attitude we should have. Because by you having that anger and that feelings in your spirit, you stay there and fester. Bitterness comes in, anger comes in, frustration comes in, and that's where resentment start coming in, and the drifting. Don't touch me. I don't want to talk to you. That's the person. Sometimes no one don't even know what really the problem is. What causes this? What have I done wrong? So the loop is open and nobody wants to discuss the loop. They say, let's close it. Let's discuss what's going on so we can move forward with the offense to keep the loop open. Because you're offended about something went on about a month ago. All of a sudden, you start getting angry. The verbal things start saying the wrong things start operating in the family, in the home. And I said, the home is a sanctuary place. When you believe anywhere you go, if you go on vacation, it's been a couple days on vacation, you itch to come back home because you feel peace. You should have peace. You should have happiness in your home. So that loop is still open. Some couples are living with open loops in their marriage. There's some of us have problems unsolved, have not solved it. Conflict, unhealed. You're burning, you're hurting, you have pain. Is this the one you married? But the day when we were so happy and you walked down the aisles and all, but it was so happy and wonderful, things so great. This is the man, this is the woman I'm going to live the rest of my life with. But why can't we communicate because of offense? I mean, sometimes, we're not perfect in everything we do. I'm not a perfect woman, but I can have a conversation with you. If I feel there's something going wrong, I will come and say, "What's going on, honey? What's the problem?" And let's talk about it so we can straighten it out. If I offend you in any way, let me know. It could be a little minor things. I make it a molehead, a little small little thing, and make a big mountain out of it because we did not address the problem with the conflict. So that loop is open all for quite some time, and no one wants to discuss what's going on. It's going to bitterness, resentment, hate, the drifting starts, as I said before. Each other, let have a conversation. Let's talk about it and close the loops of conflict. None of us is perfect. We all do error. We all do mistakes. But we should not be a judge to anyone. We cannot be a judge. God only judges. No one can judge us. We can talk about things and we can resolve it if we really care about the one we married, the love we had when we first got married. All the wonderful stuff was there, the limousine, the bridesmaid, the bridesmaid, all the great dress you spent so much money to get, to buy it, and all this the honeymoon. Let's go back and reminisce about the time when we all together, so we can live a peaceful and happy life. Closing loops will prepare your heart and diffuse the anger. Prepare your heart to love again, to understand the one you're married to, and diffuse the anger and the pain. Who wants to live in this turmoil of life? No one. No one. And start communicating and giving your concern. Let them know how you feel, what transpired during time, and what make this happen. Why we feel this way about each other. What did I do wrong? Bold enough to say, listen, you hurt my feelings. It could be a simple, simple thing. And for days and months and weeks, we carry around this anger. I'm not speaking. How can you do this? What can be so terrible that you can't talk to the spouse? What can be so bad you can't talk about it and let each other know where our faults are, where we went wrong? As I said before, sometimes things happen and beyond our control. And I was teaching the other time about fender benders. When you have a car and the first you're driving down the street, they have somebody get a fender bender. If you don't pay attention to that, you go along, it's gonna be worse when you have a crash. We could just simply fix the fender bender and move right along. Or we wait until it get worse, another hit again, another hit again, a whole crash, and everything gone. So we can't wait for things to happen. This long time ago, I remember I was somewhere and one of those bees stung me. I felt the pain and I said, let me crush this person, this bee, crush the head. I thought I did that. But all and behold unto me, I was sitting down, I felt another stick. I said, what's happening? I thought I killed the bee. The bee didn't die. So sometimes the same so in the natural and so in the spirit. When you think you killed this, what's eating you up, I forgive you or I just forget about it. It's way deep down and disturbed, boil up into you again. The person says something to you, just simple thing, ask you a question, you got it right there. Take the person there. Simple things because you never dealt with it. If I really killed that bee, I thought I did, but all and behold, he came and give me a little nap on my leg again. I said, oh my Lord, what's going on here? But because I did not really dealt with it properly, so I got stung. Just like the fender bender. You're driving along, somebody hits you, you say, okay, I'll take care of it another day. The another fender bender came. Because you did not address the first instant. So of course things gonna happen. It's gonna be a big collision. So it costs you more money to fix the car, more deductible from your insurance, all this kind of stuff, unnecessary warfare. So what I would admonish you to do, as I really start speaking to your spirit on tonight, whatever is offensive, it is. You have to have a conversation with the person. You should go way deep down and say, let's talk about this. If that's what you really, the one you love and you really married to this one, this is my husband, this is my wife. Why not talk about it? We can't live in a household and not speak to each other for days and months and weeks. And I think what a lot of people do, you know, sometimes maybe men or women, I don't know which one of them is worse, but they hold on to the sex. No, 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 don't touch me, not today. But what do you expect when you do the resentment from that? You get, that you send the person out, or you're pushing them away, and also the drifting start. You're withholding your rightful duty. You're holding your husband's duty. Holding away from that, and that's not a good thing to do, because you send the person away and pushing them further than they want to go. And when you ask, all of a sudden things start happening, and you wonder, why is it happening? What did I do? But you did not deal with it in the beginning. You keep this enough, these things boiled up, boiling over in your spirit. You go to work, you're frustrated. You come home, you're frustrated. Where do you have peace? Tonight, I'm admonishing you. Whatever's going on a fence and when a loop is open, it's time to close the loop. Time to close the loop. And if it's a self-esteem, if it's a talking about your self-esteem, let them know you don't like the way this, whatever they said to you concerning how you feel, because they figure you have a, if you're complex about something, and this the little one little button that's push you there. But if they don't know about what you've been through in your life, sometimes innocent, intentionally not, unintentionally. They didn't do it intentionally. They did not do it intentionally. That was just pure innocent. And you live with that anger and that malice and that frustration, that bitterness for a long time. And you're hurting yourself because these things cause other problems in our body, in our own marriage, in our life, physically, and so it's naturally. And the little word name stress, it takes a lot of things. But that little word, it can cause a big problem if you don't address the issue right away. Sometimes you can't right away if it's not sometimes it's not possible. But what I would advise you to do is take a time out and visit in a couple of days. Don't wait for months to do this. The longer you wait, the worse it gets to discuss it. And the building up of the anger and the hurt, it stays with you if you don't deal with it right away. So I admonish you tonight to just know that the marriage you have, you want to have, as God instituted marriages. The Bible said, if you see your brother offend you, go to him and speak to him. If you can't go to him and speak to him alone, if it doesn't resolve, get somebody to intermediate and come in and talk about it. Immediate for you. Whatever it is. Don't stay there and I'm not talking, I'm not talking, I'm not. No, 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 no. That's causing offense. It's causing pain and hurt in a marriage. And I always said to the folks when I do talk to them, if we can't solve it here, it's okay to find a licensed therapist, a licensed counselor who can really go in deep down and have a conversation with the both of you. But just don't go to divorce right away because sometimes it does not, a simple thing can fix. If we allow the enemy to come in and take what God put together, it's all on us. So the more you can get educated in these things, get some books and start reading. How can I do certain things? How can I fix certain things? And as I said, I'm here, and if there's an issue, I'm here to try to help. God give me some wisdom. With His guidance and what I've learned, I will use it to the best of my ability to help somebody. So I want tonight for you to just think about what I'm saying to you. It's not, I'm telling I'm going to continue this for the next time because it's a lot of how. As I said to you, how. But that's part of it. How can we do it? We can start by communicating. We can start having a conversation and the concern that's bothering you, the issue that's concerning your marriage and what's going on in there. Because it could be a simple thing and it can be fixed. All right. So we believe God is going to do what He's going to do for us. And I thank God for tonight. I give God the praise. And I thank you who join in tonight. If you can go to replay and just have somebody to listen. If you have a friend of yours or somebody is in trouble with their marriage, you can let them listen to this because I believe it's going to help some of us who really want the marriage to work. Close the loops. Some loops are open and it's time for you to close it. My name is Dr. Sonia Archer. For number I have, if you can reach me there and we can have a conversation. I don't have the answer, but I'll try my best to make it work out for us. Because I believe in marriage, and that's what God says. He institute marriages and he wants us to be together, not separated. And before you go to the divorce court, you go to the prayer room and ask God, how can I handle this? Because prayer changes everything. I said, this is a biblical perspective I'm teaching on. So I'm not here to tell you, go to divorce court. That's not my way of doing things. And that's not really what the Lord want me to do. You want me to help those who really want to be helped. And I said to you before, I'll pray about it before I give an answer. I ask God to lead and direct my path. Okay, so I thank God for the open door tonight. I thank God for those who came on to listen, and I hope I've said something that really prick your heart, that you can start a new life with the one you care for, the one you love. Because your home is your sanctuary. You set the tone in your home. You personally set the tone in your home, the tone in your home. And that should be the place you want to have peace. You can let your emotions out and whatever is coming out. That's where you can do that instead of fearful to come home to where you live. So we thank God for tonight. We thank God for this open door. And I bless God tonight for what He's about to do in our lives. So that's my segment for the night. And I thank God for those who join in. And I hope you've learned something tonight. As already, I don't have the answer, but I'll find the answer for you. But you can get, you can do some research yourself. Really, truly, it can help if you really want to be helped. Okay. So my number is. Let me give you the number on the thing. Number is 516. Give me a second. 516 64 516-259-2109. Thank you. That's the ministry number. You can call and if there's leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. God bless you and have a wonderful night. And I thank you for joining me on tonight. And I praise God for all of your lives tonight. That we have a happy, happy marriage. Okay? God bless. Have a great night. The Lord be with you all. Until we meet again next 4 weeks, every fourth Thursday. Amen.